We can start smoking, by the way. Our guest today is Sam Tarasco, also Sam Lasco, Caveman Sam from Trailer Park Boys, but he's also a live performer. He's had a whole secondary life. You were a teacher?
I was a teacher, I was a truck driver, I was a consultant, I had my own security business. There's lots of shit I've done.
Buddy, okay, see, that's something that nobody would know from your TV character. First time I ever met you, I knew you as Caveman from fucking Trailer Park Boys. You're kind of a rough character on the show, dude. And then in real life, you're like this really well-spoken, smart dude, and you're like, what the fuck?
You know,
he really is an actor.
See, here's the thing. No. I like to say that I'm a care actor.
That's funny.
Because everyone says, oh, you're a great actor, unless I'm really a fucking caveman. And in some cases, I really am a caveman.
Dude, how funny is that, man? In which ways does the caveman or does the Sam leak into the caveman, dude?
Well, the caveman is open to anything. I mean, he's trisexual, as they say, because he'll try anything, right? He's not bisexual because I've never paid for it in my life.
Dude.
Right? That kind of thing. Always been a pothead. Like in high school, I was smoking pot. I was a jock who hung around with the potheads. Put that in your pipe and smoke.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. That's a very cool and normal combination. It's because jocks get the potheads and the potheads get the jocks. Sometimes they share this. Like potheads could be good athletes if we weren't high all the time. Like, what kind of person were you in high school? Tell me a little bit about the real Sam, man. Not the caveman Sam, but tell me about who you were, man, and how did you get to become an actor on the Trailer Park Boys? What was that like?
Okay, well, who I was always a class clown. I love being the center of attention, I'm not going to lie. That's why I think what led me to sports.
Dude, nothing wrong with that.
Right? So I like being the center of attention, I like making people laugh, and I like having fun.
You're still a fun person.
I try to be, even at my age. I hang around with young guys.
What are you, you said you're 64?
63.
63?
63.
You're pretty fun for 63, bro. Yeah, you meet 63-year-olds sometimes that are much old. They're old men already. They've given up, man. So 63, you're having fun. Okay, all right.
So I think I was a nice guy in high school, though there are people who say that I was a bully in high school, but then there's people that say, no, you're a really nice guy, a really sweet guy. So I guess some people didn't like me. Did I bully people? Well, yeah. My sister I told you about, remember? She had a burn scar on her face.
Yeah.
So anybody make fun of my sister, then they get to meet me.
See, that's not even bullying, man.
Well, then that's when I'm a bully, because I teach them a lesson, right? And I had another brother. I had a brother 1 year younger than her, and then another sister who came in 2 years later.
See, you grew up in Toronto when people would fight. Fist fights were a thing when I was growing up, man. People fought each other all the time.
And then you help them up after the fight. You don't kick them in the head.
No, you don't need to end them. It's not about ending them. It's about standing up for what you needed to in the moment, man.
No, when it's over, you bend over, you put out an arm, they grab your hand, you stand up. You're not shaking hands necessarly, but
it's not about shaking hands.
Over.
Fight's over.
It's over.
It's over.
You know,
man. Okay, growing up in Toronto, that's cool. What's your first job? What the fuck's the first thing Sam ever does?
First job I ever had?
Yeah.
First full time or first job?
First job. Give me your first, even if it's shit.
No, it wasn't shit. It was actually a testament to my character. Let's put it that way. Wherever I am, whatever I do, I always try and be in charge. I can't help myself. So I got a job working at Woodbine Racetrack, which was a 15-minute walk from my house.
Wow, crazy.
And I was parking cars. Back then, we're making $5.15 an hour, and the job was you stand in the parking spot, the car backs up, and you go, come back, come back, come back. And when they reach the line, you stop, you go to your right, and you park the next car. That was our job.
Classic job.
Then, once the lot was full, you shut down the lot, and we patrol the lot, making sure nobody breaks in. So I did that for 1 or 2 years. Eventually, I moved up so that I was the guy who was actually hiring all the part-time guys.
That's a pretty cool job.
So I hired all my friends. Again, it was $5.15 an hour. That was fucking good money.
That's good money,
and
man.
The hours were Saturday and Sunday from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
I want you to know, man, you made $5.15 in the 70s. The first job that I ever got paid me $7.75, and it was being a butcher's assistant. That's crazy. That must have been fucking loot. Okay?
So eventually, my job was drive around the parking lots with a case of pop in the back.
Cool.
And sell pop to my guys who are working in the lots.
Come on, man.
We used to make great money on days like Queen's Plate Day, because here's what we would do. We would fill up the parking lot, but then we would leave some open rows that you couldn't see from the road.
Cool.
And people would come up trying to get there for Queen's Plate, and they go, "Oh, can we get in? Oh, it's all full. Oh, I'll give you $20." Oh, yeah, we got a spot for you.
We got a spot. Give me the 20 here. I'll bring it right up. See, but that kind of stuff still happens, man. You can still give a guy a 20 for a good parking spot.
International Day, Queen's Plate Day, all the busy days we kept good
What kind
spots.
of people show up to Queen's Plate? Is it any kind of person, degenerate gamblers to rich folk?
Oh, and people go just for the pomp and circumstance.
Sure, just to watch these rich.
They wear their new hats. They wear their new hats. Oh, I'm going to just ignore this. Sorry.
Okay, man. This is hilarious. This is 2020.
Here, I'll tell him. It's my partner. Hey, Demos, I'm doing a podcast right now. I'll talk to you later, bro, okay? Okay, bye.
Hey, yeah, all right. All right, Sam.
So that was my first job. And then my first full-time job was the summer when I was in grade 9. I worked at Yonge and Eglinton. They were still building it.
Wow.
At that time.
I was going to say that's a
2200
huge uptown.
Yeah, 1800 and 2200 Yonge Street. My job was a janitor. I got a job as a janitor, a caretaker, right? My dad got me the job through my uncle.
Classic European thing. I cannot believe you just said that, man.
First day on the job.
How funny is that?
First day on the job, I'll never forget. So a guy named Lucky.
Yeah.
I think he might have been Portuguese, actually. He was my mentor, let's say.
Yeah, of course.
So we're putting shelving up. And you know those little V-shaped shelves with the little...
Yeah.
So we're trying to put the shelving in. And he's trying to put it in. He's putting it in upside down. And I'm watching him. And then I go, you're doing it upside down. And he goes, why didn't you fucking tell me? And I go, my dad told me never to correct the boss. Yeah. And he goes, well, tell your dad he's a fucking asshole.
No, man, see, that kind of shit, do people even fucking experience things like that anymore, man? Do you know what I mean? I feel like the world is so fucking sterile and do people even swear on their first day of the jobs? Is there any kind of hardness? See, I love that kind of shit. How long were you a janitor for? Do you remember?
It was a summer job.
Just your summer job?
Yeah, I was in grade 9. Now, here's the beauty of that. So I walk into this summer job.
Grade 9. What a European fucking background. Bro.
I walk into grade 9, into the summer job, 5'2". I have a growth spurt. I go from 5'2" to 5'9" in the summer, and I gained like 35, 40 pounds.
Man, imagine you're working the whole summer.
By the end of the summer, my job was punching boilers. And I don't know if you know what that means.
What's punching boilers?
So if you go down to the basement of any of these huge apartment buildings or offices, you'll see a great big boiler. If you open up the face, inside you'll see a bunch of holes that are about that big around and 24 feet long.
Wow.
In the summer, they're not using the boilers.
Sure.
So they put this contraption in. It looks like this. So when you put it in the hole, it contracts so that it gets the whole thing. And my job was doing this for 8 hours a day.
Come on.
8 hours a day. So I would do half an hour this way, then I would do half an hour this way.
Dude, your forearms.
And it was like Hercules. It was like Three Stooges meet Hercules. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
No, man.
When Hercules is just this mild-mannered scientist, and he's on one side of the ship. He's so strong that he's doing one side.
That's hilarious.
And everyone else is on the other side. That's how I felt. Because I grew into a man.
Of course, man.
That summer.
Dude, every person has that growth spurt, and it's always so life-changing because you can remember grade 9 summer, my first job. I went from a little kid to a man, and everybody at your job got to watch it. Yo, you guys see Sammy? Sammy's getting big over here. Fucking Sammy's going to punch you out soon. Fuck. Okay, man. Okay, so now your parents are in Canada. They're living with you, known to everybody. What's that like?
And my aunt and uncle live upstairs.
Of course.
Because they didn't have a house yet.
We were the upstairs family growing up, actually.
We were the upstairs family when I lived on O'Hara. We were the second floor family. There was a third floor family. My other cousin, the Rubinos, lived on the third floor.
That's a beautiful thing that people don't experience. Those weekends in a house like that where, you would just have dinners, man. You'd have like 20 people dinners, no problem. Everybody brought a couple things down, little kids. Man, I remember that. Houses with 3 little kids, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a baby. You're like, what the fuck?
Here's something that's sort of appropriate with everything that's going on in the fucking States right now, and even here. So we moved to Rexdale in 1971.
Rexdale at the time, Rexdale is heavily populated with what?
Italians, Irish. It's mostly white.
It's mostly white.
When I went to grade 9,
there
were like 5-6 black guys in my school.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's it. And if you go there now, it's like 18% white.
That's what I was gonna say. It's all switched. It's a much more ethnic.
But again, that was never an issue at my school. we never had racial riots.
No,
in my
man.
school.
Toronto's
And-
going through a boom at the time ethnically, so everybody's kind of learning how to live with each other at the time.
And over the years, it became more and more diverse. It's funny because I always thought it was diverse because we had Italians and we had Portuguese and we had all these other nationalities. But because we all look alike, I guess it wasn't really diverse.
I know, but it feels that way.
But it feels that way.
You're like, man, what are you talking about? We got Portuguese people, we got Italian people, we got Greek people, we got Persians who kind of look like us too. Dude, that is so funny.
The Italians look like the Persians for sure.
I know. How funny is that? That shit always crisscross. You're like, but wait, when you look back at the genetics and where everybody's coming from, it all makes sense because we're all kind of coming from the same places. But the idea that that's not ethnic, and you're like, what are you talking about? We got 30 different backgrounds, 30 different cultures. You're right, man. I had no Greek kids, but we had a couple black kids. And a whole stack of Italian, Portuguese kids, and a couple. The white kids were the minority in my elementary school.
Pretty much when I went to Davenport, I'd say it was getting close.
Do you know what I mean by that? Like full-blood Canadian kids, not the immigrant kids. Immigrant kids were always the number one in my school. But I always grew up in the west end of Toronto, so that was kind of fucked up. When you were growing up in Rexdale, how old are you when you're in Rexdale?
I guess we moved there when I was 13, 14.
Oh, fucking crazy.
That's when we moved to Rexdale from Pelham Park. Because there were fights every weekend in Pelham Park Gardens, right?
There still is. That's actually still a pretty rough neighborhood, man. Not as bad as it used to be, but...
See, I did fine because I knew how to fight. Everyone knew me, and they knew I wasn't on any side, so they left me alone for the most part. My mother didn't appreciate it because she'd hear all the police sirens coming at night. And she said, we got to get the fuck out of this neighborhood. See, when we moved in there, it wasn't Pelham Park Gardens. It was United Steel.
What the fuck is that?
It was a big plant. It was a steel plant was there.
Wow.
Then they shut that down and they built these townhouses.
When you were growing up, was American Standard on Lansdowne already? The big toilet place?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember what I'm talking about? Big blue factory?
Hell, the Lancia plant was on Symington.
Yeah.
And I used to go in the old days, you know how you get stuff in your cereal?
Yeah.
They used to put stuff in the pasta box.
That's fucking hilarious,
and
man.
they did a thing with little astronauts.
What?
Different miniatures of astronauts, plastic.
Pretty great.
So what I used to do is I used to go whenever they had a new batch, I would go and break into the garbage.
Go look.
And go through all the bad bags and just pull it out. So I got the whole collection in one day.
No kidding.
The whole collection in one day.
Man, those all the time people don't give a fuck. That's for the kids. Oh my God, man.
We used to collect copper.
Man, I gotta tell you something. I tried to get copper one time and we got in trouble for that. We went to an old abandoned building that, is pretty much across the street from Buddy's studio that we used to record at. That's gentrified now, but that used to be an abandoned area. We went to an old it smelled like shit. There was pigeon shit everywhere. And we found old, what do you call that? Spools? Those big things of it had wire. We don't even know what the wire was. I assume it was copper. It could have just been whatever the fuck. And we tried to take it in the police roadside, and they asked us a bunch of questions. They made us put everything back. Growing up and shit, like, dude, what did you ever? Like, what's one of the craziest memories from your childhood? Because you grew up in Toronto, had a great time, man. Did you ever see a great fight? Somebody die, car accident, some crazy shit like that?
Well, here's a death that I avoided. How's that?
That's a good one, man.
I was about 10 years old, living on Pelham. We used to go to the pits, the granite mines, just up on Old Weston Road.
I never even got to see that.
Okay, so just past Canada Packers, if you keep going up Old Weston Road and you go to the left, they have granite pits where they used to dig up.
What's there now?
Sand piles. I have no idea. It's all townhouses now. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
So anyway, I was supposed to go there with my buddy and his cousin who was in town for the weekend. My mother wouldn't let me go for whatever fucking reason. The two of them went there. They wound up on top of a big sand pile.
Yeah.
And the lever collapsed, and the two of them got sucked down and suffocated. They found the two of the guys hugging under all the gravel. And I was supposed to go. So there's my first near death that I didn't fucking die.
Man, shit like that
10
will
years
change.
old, man.
That kind of stuff will change you forever, though. You'll never forget that. You're like, I could have been there. That could have been me. Sammy T. What was your nickname growing up? You had a good nickname, Sammy T? Sammy. You got a good one. You're born with the name Sam.
Well...
What's your Italian name, Samuel?
No. I can't tell you my real name because then people will be able to find out shit about me.
Oh yeah, of course.
Nobody knows my real name.
I know you gotta have.
Well,
like,
some people know my real name, but those are really my friends. I'll tell you after, but not on camera.
yeah. Don't.
I'll
I
tell you
always
my
forget
full
that.
name.
I forget
My name
that.
is very Italian.
It's gotta be very
Definitely.
Italian.
But my mother called me Sammy. My mother called me Sammy since I was 6 years old.
Your mom called you Sammy? Sammy.
Oh, well, see.
See, I'm
so
Portuguese. That's the difference. That was more of a Portuguese than Sammy.
Here's another Portuguese Italian thing. Okay, so my father's brother and all my father's sisters all have someone with the exact same name as me, if they're Tarascos. So there was a Sam Tarasco before me, Big Sammy. So we call him Big Sammy, even though Big Sammy is only
You
this
knew
tall.
him?
I do know him. He's my cousin. He's a computer whiz.
No, yeah.
Computer whiz. Here, listen to this one. Quit school in grade 9. Quit school in grade 9. Right? He was a hard ass. He was a good tough guy, but not a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Winds up working. I think he went to work for someone like you're talking about Wire, Canadian Wire, or
Something like that.
one of those companies. Falls in love with computing when he's in grade 10, or would have gone to grade 10. Falls in love with it. Now he does security for banks and shit.
That's so cool, huh?
He's got, as I say, he got his 40,000 hours in. So you know what? Education.
Yo, man. Okay, wait.
You want to learn something?
Dropout, so it's,
I have 2 degrees. It means fuck all.
What do you have degrees in?
I have a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Education. My BA is in Geography and Phys Ed.
Holy shit.
And my
You were a teacher?
B.Ed. Yeah, I taught. I taught till we weren't allowed to fail the kids anymore. We weren't allowed to yell at them anymore. And I said, I'm not going to be able to get through to this kid because if I say something to him, he just tells me to fuck off. And I'm not the kind of guy to take fuck off.
Who you telling to fuck off, kid?
No, you can't do that. But I'll tell you, when I was supply teaching at my old high school, it was awesome. The reason is I would go in, I'd go in there because I was helping coach the wrestling and football teams.
That's amazing.
So they would call me every time a teacher would call in sick. They would call me into the high school to supply teach. So I'd be doing guidance. It didn't matter what the subject was. They go, oh, let's call Sam in because he's going to be here at 3:30 anyway. But
Choose a weed quick. I'm going to roll one.
okay, this one.
Okay.
Anyway, so they used to call me in to supply teach all the time. So all the football players wanted to be nice to Coach T, right? So if a student ever got out of line in my classroom, I would just leave the classroom. One of my football players would usually take care of him, and then I would come back 5 minutes later. I would just take a bathroom break. So if anyone was disrespectful, they would just take care of business for me.
Yo, how fun is that?
Lots of fun. Well, I wasn't an asshole teacher. I like to think I was a cool teacher. We would be given assignments, and I'd say, here's your assignment. You have a choice. You can do it now and sit quietly, or we can shoot the shit for the next 45 minutes, and you can do it as homework. Your choice.
Yeah, well, kids are going to...
Some of them, they go, well, I want to do the work. I go, okay, go to the back of the room and do the work. The rest would just want to chill for 45 minutes, come up to the front, and we would talk.
Kids love that.
Right? But the ones at the back would start complaining. Again,
Have you ever met one of your students after your acting career?
No, because I didn't teach long enough. I taught, okay, my first year of teaching full-time was on an Indian reserve in northern Ontario, a fly-in reserve. You can't even drive there. It's called Sandy Lake, Ontario. You can look it up.
You taught...
On a native reserve. So before I did that, I went out and I got my FAC and I picked up a hunting rifle so I could do something on the weekends. And I would go fishing during lunch hour because we were right on the Severn River. It used to come down. So at lunch hour, I would go down because it was an hour lunch. It was 100 yards to fish. I caught me a pike like this big at lunchtime one day. Pulled me into the water. You've seen it on my Facebook. To me in the bathrobe, that pike pulled me into the water.
Okay, wait, man. What kind of life have you lived, man? Jesus,
Here's my advice to all you young kids, and I didn't even learn this really until I was, I'd have to say 44 is when I learned it.
What?
And that's, we're all going to die, man. Fucking enjoy today. I seriously.
How do you pass that message on to some people? Are so stiff, bro.
You have to. I'll give you an example.
People are stiff, man.
I'm not well off by any means. I'm okay.
Sure.
I could retire today and I wouldn't have to work, but that's not me. So I wouldn't do that. Mind you, if I retired, I would either supply teach and do my shows on weekends and drive around to do my show. That's what my retirement job.
Yeah, you like to supply teach, just chill out, talk to the kids.
Talk to the kids, be real, give them life advice, give them.
But they'll love that,
man.
Man, 99% of the supply teachers I got were stiff, wannabe teachers who just couldn't do it. But once in a while, you'd get you'd get the guy who'd come in and be like, "What are you kids doing today? What are you guys saying? You guys want to watch a movie? You guys want to chill out?" And that guy stuck in your memory.
I gave him the option. That's all. And that's the way I taught too. See, when I went up north, I taught art, history, and phys ed. Those are the 3 subjects I had.
That's great, man.
You know, and I loved it. I loved it because I ran the gym. So I set up a volleyball league. I set up a basketball league. I set up a floor hockey league. It was a dream come true. And the students were amazing. They were so receptive.
What was the equipment like? Did those kids have anything?
Yeah, Department of Indian and Northern Affairs gives them, our budget was good.
Yeah,
I made more money than if I would have come to work for the Etobicoke department.
No.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When I went up there, because I got vacation pay.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, isolation pay.
Cool. So you're just because you're in the middle of nowhere.
And my housing, I lived in a 2-bedroom trailer. Haha.
Cool.
Me and my wife. I got married before I went up there because she didn't want to go up there unless we were married and lived together, which is fine. So we got married. That's my ex-wife. That's my ex-wife. Anyway, so we lived in a 2-bedroom trailer, hard to the ground trailer, and it cost us $148 a month.
Wow.
That was our rent. So we banked. We were making, again, we're talking 1981, and we banked her whole salary and lived on mine for a year.
That's the best.
So we banked 35 grand in 1 year.
That's the best.
Because I think that's what we were making. And they gave us like 4,800 for isolation.
Cool.
Right?
That's good money by now. That's pretty good money by today's standards. Fuck,
Yeah.
bro.
But again, the point I was leading to was, as soon as we didn't like it up there necessarily. It was so political that it just wasn't cool
Explain
anymore.
to me what you're talking about.
Okay, here's some of the stuff was kind of silly. And,
of course.
And we had to sign waivers to say you wouldn't talk about it.
Sure.
But that was 40 years ago, so I can talk about it all I want now. Here's an example. So we go up there. There's no roads in this place, clearly. There's boardwalks everywhere. No sidewalks, but boardwalks. Just
pieces of wood.
Pieces of wood, but I mean formed pieces of wood built into the ground, sometimes across bridges, right?
Not bad.
So we're at the band council meeting when we get their first week of the teachers thing. And one teacher has been there for 10 years, this woman, Janet.
She's been living in the isolation of this forest community for 10 years?
Well, she might have gone away for the summers, right?
But she
then
came back. Okay.
But
Sorry,
she taught there for
correct.
10 years.
That makes sense.
So she says, well, we should fix the boardwalk because in the winter when there's snow on the boardwalk, the kids can't see the holes and they could fall through the holes and hurt themselves.
Yeah.
And the response from the band council was, well, we don't have any wood. Now you have to understand, we're living in a fucking isolated forest with a sawmill up on the hill that hadn't been operating in 4 years because no one wanted to operate it. The government was overindulging them. And I'm glad to say that over the course of the time from then to now, they become self-sufficient. The sawmills are working. They're opening up their own businesses. It's finally, the government wasn't doing enough to help them teach a man to fish.
Man, just give them a couple of pushes in the right direction. Exactly. Teach a man to fish.
Go up. Here's what you do. You want to open a restaurant in a reserve where there's no restaurant. You go up there. The government goes up, use their funds.
Yeah.
Go up, set up the restaurant, staff it with people within the community, and then let those people take over after a year or so once they've established
and they'll know how
to do the ordering.
Of course.
And now it's their own restaurant, and now they have their own business, and now there's a greater sense of worth besides just taking handouts all the time.
Of course.
That's not hard. That's how money should be spent, not just give them the money. They had a policy back then. I don't know if they do anymore. Every 3 years, they get a new prefab home, automatic. They can apply for a new home.
Yeah.
And they bring them up. They're prefabs. They just put them together in fucking 2 days, 3 days, right? They're all on top because the thermofrost is too hard to go. There's no basements, so everything's built on top of the ground.
That shit's frozen like that?
Yeah, it's far enough north. Man, I went there. The snow was 4 feet deep. We were walking on snow 4 feet deep on our snowshoes to get to the school.
When you walk on snowshoes, how far down do you go? Like a half
Not at
inch?
all. No.
You don't go nothing.
Just barely. Yeah.
Just you're right on top. Even if it's fresh snow.
If the shoes fit.
Yeah.
And you're walking like you're supposed to walk, which is just
steps.
Flat steps. Then you can walk on snow that's 3 feet deep and maybe go down maybe 4 inches at the most.
No, nice and fresh.
That's new.
That's like powder.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable technology.
You
hey,
barely go down.
Dude, that's ancient. Those people have been created those shoes God knows how long ago.
And a lot of the craft, like native art. We bought a lot of native art when we were up there. For example.
Man, that's actually native art though. Those dudes are for real making it.
Yes.
Man.
It's kind of cool because certain reservations, or I don't want to call them reservations, certain communities have only a limited number of last names. It's really
I
kind
fucking
of
hate
cool.
that name
They're
too.
all
Reservations.
related.
That sounds awful, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
they're all related. Like up there were Kakagamics,
Yeah.
Kakamisms,
Yeah.
Rays, and Fiddlers. And that would the population was around 400. We had 400 students, maybe about 2,000 people, and those four names would have encompassed 80% of all the last names
Come
of the
on.
people there. Yeah. No, and I'm not saying any incest shit. I'm not
It's
talking
just
about
long
that.
family
Long
lines like
family
that.
lines, and the way the nomads, the way they would travel, they all traveled together.
That's unbelievable. That's so
Right.
sick. You don't even think about stuff like that. Ancient communities that have just been living amongst each other for like hundreds
They
of
have
years.
such a proud history, man.
Of course,
Such a
man.
proud
Of
history.
course. Cool, man. Humans are fucking trippy, Sam. That's cool that you.
So I
lived
did
through
that for a year, and then we thought about it and said, "Nah, we don't want." She didn't want to live up there, so then we moved to Toronto, and I supply taught for about a year, and I said, "This is not going to make us enough money," so I went to work as a bread truck delivery driver,
Classic job, bro.
and I had already done that.
What bread company?
All of them. It started with Christie's Home Pride. Then they got bought out by General Bakeries. Then they got bought out by Weston's. And then I also went to work at Dempster's. I did that for a while, where I was a sales rep, area sales manager. I never made it area sales manager. District sales manager is as far as I got there. But again, I did it in a few years.
Dude, that's so funny, man.
The summer job was delivering bread. I took a year off university because my dad lost his job. So I was helping pay the mortgage at the time, right? And then I went back to school the year. I bought myself a car. I bought myself a Lada back in '79 when they were brand new and cost $3,000.
That's crazy,
Because
dude.
one of the guys on my football team's father owned the dealerships.
So you just went in and you're like, hey, let's go. Okay,
No,
listen, wait.
I had to take a year off school.
I got to ask you something, man. Did you ever even, during all this time, ever think that you were going to become an actor someday?
100%. I'll tell you. I told my cousin.
Fuck are you talking
I only told
about,
one
you
person.
fucking guy?
I told one person.
You're fucked.
I told one person, and that was my cousin Ralph Rubino.
No way.
I said, you know what, Ralph?
What a name.
You know, when we're sitting around and we're saying, what do you want to be? What do you really want to be? He wanted to be a scientist. He wanted to work for he wound up working in the warehouse of a
That was his answer?
of a safety shoe company. That's what he wanted to be. No, he was totally into bugs and reading science books.
He was
and
one of
all that
those
shit.
dudes.
But he never
Ended up
went on
there.
to university. He wound up getting a job. And I said to him, honestly, if I could be anything, I'd like to be an actor.
No,
That's
you
what
didn't.
only one person I told. And then I did the whole, like the character, I did theater arts in high school. I was a jock doing theater arts. That was unheard of too.
But that kind of stuff is needed. Somebody needs to be the jock actor. There needs to be somebody who's an actor who's a jock, bro. Oh my God, man. Sam, that's so funny, bro. As you're telling these stories, I can only think about how boring my life actually was. Because I never had crazy fun jobs, man. I never had little travel stories. I never lived in isolation as a teacher. So these kind of things make you as a person. All this happens. You live this is only what, your 20s and 30s? This is what? How old are you during this story?
When I went to teachers college, when I started teaching, I was 25.
That's
That's when
crazy.
I got married.
Okay, man. And what age do you become an actor?
44.
That's crazy, dude. 44. And what's your break? It wasn't straight into Trailer Park Boys. You did some other stuff, I'm sure, on the way up.
Well, do you remember the clogs? There's two pieces to this story.
Give it to me.
You know,
Clogs, like the
clogs.
shoes?
Clogs, the shoes.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, the clogs were the thing.
No, for real? That's fucking
Oh, no,
hilarious.
for
I'll
sure.
fucking
You wore
die.
clogs with no socks and bell-bottom jeans, like wide bell jeans, right?
Oh, fuck.
And the clogs, whether you know it or not, were a weapon that you could use in a fight.
Because you're just fucking heavy duty, man.
I mean, I can tell you some stories where I've used them, and trust me, from 12 feet, I can put it right between your eyes.
That's how they carry. I know. I can imagine the weight on a fucking...
Right? And oh yeah, because they got a beautiful weight because they're made of wood and all they have is one leather strap across the top. So Ricky, Robb Wells, and I are working at Sparkling Spring Water together.
No, wait. This is Robb Wells' Robb Wells, Trailer Park Boys, Ricky. You're working with him where?
I guess I got to get back to the beginning of that. My wife always wanted to move to Nova Scotia. I moved her to Nova Scotia. I stayed in Ontario. I looked for a job.
Sure.
I found one online, and I flew down for an interview.
Wow.
The job was distribution manager for the facility in Halifax, Nova Scotia for, back then it was called Sparkling Spring Water.
Sparkling Spring.
I was interviewed for this job by a woman named Darlene and a fellow named Pat Roach.
Okay.
Do you know who Pat Roach is?
No.
That's Randy, bro.
Is it?
Yeah.
Pat Roach is Randy?
Randy was the sales manager.
No
and
way.
he was going to be my direct boss.
Fuck off, dude. What a fucking...
Long story short, after 2 meetings,
Oh my
I flew
God.
down. I paid my own way to fly down for this meeting because I knew if I got an interview, I would get the job. I flew myself down. I got the interview. I flew back to Toronto. They said, we'd like you to come for a second interview. I said, cool. Paid for my flight, and I'm there. So
Yeah.
they paid for my flight. Went for a second interview. They offered me the job, and I moved to Nova Scotia.
Is Randy in that second interview too?
Yeah, he was my boss. He was my direct report.
Bro, that's so funny because he plays like a pretty like semi-professional dude in the show, right? And that's funny. So he was like that in real life already.
Yeah, he was a sales manager. He's well educated.
Dude,
he was a
that's
salesman.
so funny. I can't, man. I'm fucking dying, man.
He's a graduate of St. Mary's Economics, I believe.
No, he's not.
Oh yeah. So anyway,
What? So okay, so go.
so we're expanding our operation, and we need someone to drive the straight truck, which is a 30-footer.
Okay.
Not just the 2 axles, right? Or you know what I mean when I
I know
say
what you're saying.
a straight truck, right? So he says, "Hey, hire my friend Robb," and I go, "Sure." So I hire Robb
Man.
to be the driver to deliver to the food cities
And
the
one
cases
more
of
time,
water.
You're talking Robb. You're talking Ricky.
Ricky.
Wow, man.
So Sparkling Springs used to do a lot of promotions, and we did a concert on the hill.
Cool.
And we're at this concert on the hill, and we're all in a room partying, smoking joints, having fun. And I tell my fight story where I took on 2 guys because I used my clogs and hit one in the face, went after the other guy, then went back to the first guy.
With your wooden
And he
shoes,
goes,
dude.
"I don't fucking believe you." And I said, "Okay." And we're in a motel room. And I grab my running shoe and I push down on the heel so that it's like a clog.
Yeah.
And I go like this. I go, "You see that thermostat over
I
there?"
know.
He goes, "Yeah." And I go, smash. And he goes, "Fuck off." And I go, "I wouldn't lie to you, buddy." Fast forward 6 months. Robb and I are in a bar shooting pool. Just playing. Got off work early, playing. Loser pays. It's $1 to play. Another guy comes to the table. Great big guy. And I mean fucking big. And he goes, "Hey, you want to play challenge?" "Sure." Loser sits. Challenger pays. Winner stays.
Sure.
$1 a game. We're playing. It's all
Good
good.
times.
Another guy shows up. Fucking loudmouth. You can tell right away he's a loudmouth. "Hey, you want to play for? Let's play for a beer." And I go, "No, I don't want to play for a beer." "Oh, you chicken?" I go, "Bro, I don't drink.
Yeah.
I play in the pool league. You want to play for money? We'll play $5 a game."
Yeah,
Beer
yeah.
was $2.50. "Sure, no problem. Let's do it."
Okay.
We're playing. We win the first game.
Amazing.
You owe us $5 each. Double or nothing. "Sure, no problem." We play. We win again.
And
They owe us
Ricky's your partner?
Ricky's my partner. They owe us $10 each. Okay. Double or nothing. And I go, No. Listen, pal. We ain't doing that." "What?" I said, "You called me a fucking chicken. And really, you're just a fucking dick. Let me tell you what's going to happen here. We're not playing 71 out of 72 till you win a fucking game. You're going to pay your money, and we'll continue to play $5 a game. If I decided at some point to make it 10 or 20, we can do that too. But right now, it's $5 a game. Put your fucking money on the table." And I walked away, and Ricky walked away, and we sat down. And we sat for like a minute and a half. And I go, "You know what?" I go, "Fuck this. I'll take the big guy." And I stand up. And he goes, "I'll take the big guy?" And he goes, "No, I'll take the big guy." And we start pushing each other over who's going to take the big guy.
Come on, man. Dude.
They think we're both nuts, throw 20 on the table and run out.
No kidding.
And he looks at me and he goes, "I'll take the big guy." I go, "He was fucking huge, wasn't he?"
See, that
He goes,
kinda
"What were you
shit-
going to do?" Bro, I was going to kick him in the nuts and run. I don't know about you.
You got no other move
And
in
he-
those kind
and
of
he fuck-
situations.
'cause he was huge.
What are you gonna do? You never punched the big
And he
guy.
started laughing and he goes, "Man," he goes, "you ever done any acting?" And I go, "Well, you think I like you."
Yeah.
And he starts laughing and I go, "Man, I was a teacher and those 45 kids every day thought I gave a shit whether or not they learned anything."
Man, that's nuts.
And I was a salesman, and every customer thought they were my favorite. You know, I mean, acting is just being nice to people. That's all fucking acting is.
Man, I cannot
Acting is
believe
pretending.
that's how you got your fucking. That's how you met him through a fucking buzzing little. A little sparkling. What was it? Sparkling water.
Sparkling spring water. It's now Canadian Springs. You've seen the
Canadian
trucks.
Springs. I drink Canadian Springs all the time.
I was the
No, I don't. They don't sponsor our show. I don't drink Canadian Springs.
No. Yeah.
But seriously, that's so funny.
That's when. So I was working this job at Canadian Springs or Sparkling Springs, and I was working fucking 70 hours a week. First thing in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, making sure that all the trucks have their water, and I'm working my bag off.
Yeah.
But I'm newly single.
So you got a lot of...
and getting older. And so
this is newly single after a divorce.
Well, I wasn't divorced at this point.
Yeah.
But I've been single for, at this point, 2 years.
Oh, okay,
so,
yeah.
And I like to have fun. So, essentially, when I was in the office, because I stay up all night trying to do what I can do and doing what I was doing.
Yeah, of course.
I guess I was kind of cranky and I was kind of an asshole and, really mean-spirited to the staff. Right?
Naturally.
No, you got to. This is hilarious. So he comes in. He goes, "Listen, nobody wants to work with you anymore. You can't do this anymore." And I go, "Hey, I understand. You know, business is business. That's the way it goes, I guess." And he goes, "Well, you're taking it well." And I go, "Well, fuck, I'm not happy. I mean, you need 2 people to do what I do.
Of course.
And all you do is give me grief. So really." Don't worry about it. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right? What's my package?
Yeah, no kidding. What are you guys going to give me on the way out?
And then I became a bar manager, but I'll get to it. That's another story. So anyway, because I was already bouncing in the bar, which is what I was doing on the weekends, which is why he was getting pissed off.
That's hilarious.
But I was still working 70 hours a week.
Working, I know. Jeez, I was going to say.
I'm Italian. That's what we do.
I know. You're like, if I'm going to have a job, I'm going to have 3 jobs. Okay, wait. So you have all these jobs, man. You
got to let me finish this. This is what changed my life. This is when I changed me.
As a person.
As a person, 100%. We had just started doing Trailer Park Boys at the time, too.
What year is this?
99, maybe 2000, 99, 2000, 2001. Right in that area, right?
Right in that time.
Just when we were starting to do Trailer Park Boys and nobody really knew what the fuck it was, but they had me in the show, too, right? And so he says, but before you leave, before he fires me, would I mind training my replacement for my job for 2 weeks?
Sure.
And I go, is that going to be on top of the severance? Yeah. And he goes, yeah. And I said, okay, but I'm only working 8 hours a day.
That's a pretty quick little shift.
I go, sure, no problem. No, I just cut my hours in half, and I was still making the same money. And I already knew that I could get a job as one of the assistant managers at the bar that I bounced in because they needed a man. So I had a job waiting for me now.
That's all right, man. Easy to let go. So
all of a sudden, I don't give a fuck. So they're saying, oh, Mrs. Johnson needs water. Okay, well, Fred, can you take the water? No, I'm not going to take it. Okay. You call Mrs. Johnson back and tell her she can't have her water.
Yeah.
In the old days, it was, Fred, get off your fucking ass, put the bottle in your truck, and take it to Mrs. Johnson.
Of course, but you don't.
Because I was trying to get business done, get shit done, keep the company good, and I was very hard on my employees, and I was a dick, and I was an asshole. So I didn't have to care whether or not everything ran smoothly anymore.
Man, how wise.
So I became very nice to everybody in the office.
That's pretty good.
Top that off with, here I am working security at concerts.
Sure.
And people are recognizing me from the show.
No way.
And so I got complete strangers coming up and putting their arms around me and shit. And I don't
like
that.
Dude, are you?
I'm trying to work. I'm trying to watch the crowd. And the guy goes, hey, man, aren't you Sam? You know what I mean? That kind of shit. So I had to learn to be nicer and nicer. And it made my life way better.
When you get fans, you have to be nice to your fans because they're just so happy to meet you.
You have to be nice to everybody. You have to understand. You may not think you're a big thing because I don't think I'm a big thing.
Of course, Sam. When I first met you, do you remember that? I met you at Vape on the Lake, and I was like, dude, Sam. Oh, man. What? And you were so like, sit down. Let's get high, dude. What the fuck? But
no, I'm not that guy.
When people meet you, they don't see you as Sammy, the kid who grew up in Toronto. They see you as this actor. They only picture you as an actor, as something that they wish they could be. That's why they're so happy to meet you. Isn't that great? Come on, man.
I try not to disrespect
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, I was a bouncer, so I know how to slip and slide away from
course,
somebody
man. Okay,
without
good.
hurting
All
their
right,
feelings.
yeah, of course.
Still keeping a distance. I know how to keep them beside me and not on top of me. So if they're drunk and doing that, there's a way to handle it. I go, hey, bro, you grab them by the arm and you bring them in close. They can't do anything.
Of course, they can just
then,
talk to you quickly and
right?
get out of there.
And then you can separate
wait,
them.
man.
Right? So it's...
You're in your 40s when you get your comedy, not your comedy, but your acting break. Mm-hmm. Who asks you to be on the show?
Ricky, right then and there. He said, you ever done any acting? And that's when I gave him those lines. But then in actual fact, I did, I was in the play in high school in grade 13.
So you had done acting in high school, you lived a normal life, and it's something that you were always passionate about internally, and then you get a break from one of your friends in the fucking sparkling water business. You know what kind of dream situation that is?
Right place, right time. And that's why karma's a thing, man.
That's
and you know what?
crazy,
And it
man.
started happening right then and there when I started being nice to people. So then I go out of my way to be nicer to people now.
Okay, man, wait.
And try really not to be a dick.
What were some of your favorite moments in the first first couple of years nobody knows what Trailer Park Boys are, it doesn't really take off, and then it's like season 2, season 3, boom, blows
It
up.
starts to get really cool because I'd be getting phone calls at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
No.
And it was guys from grade school, guys from grade 6.
Come on.
Going, are you the Sam Tarasco that went to Davenport Public School? And I go, yeah. Holy shit. Do you remember me? My name's Louie.
I'm watching Trailer Park Boys and I seen that you're on the show.
Yeah, and I'm getting phone calls from people I hadn't talked to in 30 years.
Man.
So that was funny.
Dude, you get to play a character. Okay? You don't get to play like there's like some people who like, okay, you are one of their side characters. What was that like? Because you don't have to deal with like the publicity of being a Ricky or a Bubbles or anything like that. You get to be a celebrity without having to do all the extra weird shit. Was that fun? The peak years, those peak years, man. The early 2000s, the like 2005, shit's crazy in those years, man.
You can answer that question yourself.
No kidding.
How often do you not want to be on stage, Mike?
No, man. I
So
can't even imagine.
every time they call me,
You were excited to go.
I get excited as hell.
You're like, yo, they're
I
bringing
don't
me
care
back.
what they want me to do.
And they'd write you in for some
I'm
random shit,
prepared
of
to do
course.
it. I'm prepared to do it. I love those guys. They don't write me in. I don't say anything. I mean,
Who cares?
It breaks my heart a little, but other than that, I don't say anything.
How could it not break your heart?
I don't complain.
It's such a fun little fucking thing.
How can I complain? And then guys go, "Oh, you must be rich off that show." I go, "Bro, I work one day a year."
Who's rich? Who's rich?
Sometimes it's 2 hours.
You get to reinvest some of your
I do it
creative
because I
time.
love to do it. Guys, seriously, if you just like pay my flights, we can fucking work out whatever you want.
Just get me on set.
Just
Get me in character.
Just don't let it cost me anything.
People
That's-
don't know
I
how
would
much
do it-
fun it is to be on set. To be on set and watch the cameras roll and have a director go, all right, everybody quiet on set, let's go. And then everything gets serious, and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, but being on stage, I like being on stage just as much, man.
Oh, but you've been blessed with the live shows. You've got so
I'm lucky.
Okay.
I have an in.
Tell people listening right now, they're only going to be listening because they know you from Trailer Park Boys. Some of them probably watched you live. Tell us what your live show is, because you do a character live.
I'm Sam Losco for the show, 100%.
How and you hold it down and you do the whole thing.
100% of the entire show until the very end when
Do you bring up dirty clothes and everything? Do you have like some nasty?
I have my outfit. I have my outfit. Let's just put it this way. When we finish the hot dog eating contest, that the contestants are not allowed to use their hands.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I like to use my shirt to wipe their faces and clean
Dude,
it
I
off
know,
for them.
man. Dude, Caveman's no joke, man. Caveman's a dirty character, so it's so much fun. And they expect it.
Doesn't mean it's not washed every time.
You did a show
and
a few years ago,
I just
man.
make it look bad.
And you had some stand-up comics open up, so a bunch of my friends went out, and I asked them, I was like, "What was the show like?" And they're like, "Man, it was almost as perfect as a character can be from a show to a live show." People don't do characters live. I've seen, well, whatever. I'm not gonna diss people on the show, but sometimes it's tough. How do you do that? How do you transfer your on-screen personality? Because you're not Sam Losco. I know you. You are. I see your Facebook. I see what you share. I see what you stand up for. You're not Sam Losco. You're a real chill, kind of pothead, funny, laughing. I want to tell some jokes. I want to, how do you transfer that?
It's easy. It's the energy that I get
Yeah.
from them enjoying what I'm doing.
Yes, of course.
It also makes my mind go a mile a minute. The show you're talking about, here's an example of something
Yeah.
that just happened that It was, I think, probably the one I did in Toronto. At
It was the Toronto
Comedy
show.
Club.
That's right.
I fucking hated it.
No, did you?
I fucking hated it.
Oh, man,
but I always
loved
give my.
it. The audience loved it.
It doesn't matter because no, it was a horrible show, and I'll tell you why. I can't operate on a fucking 3-foot stage.
It was a small stage.
I can't operate on that. That's the first thing. Second thing, the sound system didn't work.
Why? What happened? It was just
it was bullshit. It was me holding a microphone to the speaker or something to that. It just fucking blew chunks.
Yeah.
But I have a loud voice, so I don't even need the microphone.
Man, people don't know how important that is to a live show, but shitty audio will ruin everything.
And because the thing was so small, like I said, I do a hot dog eating contest.
Yeah.
And probably my most fun moment was in that club, in that show that night. No, that was the second fun because there's one that's way better, and it involves Shane King.
Oh, great, man. The legend.
The couple at the very front, because you know what, those yucks and that, they have tables right in front of you.
Like, dude, a foot away.
And I walk around when I sing, I walk through the crowd. Anyway, they had onion rings. And I said, okay, fuck this noise. This is taking way too long. Drop your pants. We're having a fucking ring toss.
No way.
And I turned toward them, and it was the most fun. And when I totally let loose, that was one of my most fun spontaneous jokes.
Man, see, letting loose on stage must be tough in character because you got to make a joke in character. Man, how did you go from being a normal person every day, just living your life, to being able to find yourself as a character on TV? Did they ask you to be Sam Lasco, or did they just be like, dude, you got to be this caveman dude? He's like a dirty kind of...
They presented the scripts.
Yeah.
I interpreted what they were doing, and then I thought, what would be funny?
And they let you run with it.
Well, I follow the scripts. I do exactly what they're saying.
Of course.
And then I say... They say make it your own. Is what they say.
Yeah.
So follow the idea, follow the storyline.
So many people on the show, man.
And they let us, and then I can use when I think it sounds good.
Do you have do you have days do you have anything that you remember from the show, or any memories from the fans, or like something that's truly related to Trailer Park Boys that always sticks out in your head? That you're like, man, thank God I was part of the show because of this.
No one specific thing, man.
I know, because I understand.
I wish I was younger.
Oh, cool.
You know,
that's funny.
I wish I was younger.
That's a
then
real
I could
thing.
Really. I have enough that if I wanted to, if I didn't have to save for my retirement because I was younger, then I could put it all in the Winnebago and just go party, go for a tour across the states, and do my own shows and have my own gate.
How great!
Try and hire someone through Facebook,
of course,
because I have fans all over North America,
buddy. It's
Europe,
insane.
And see if I could get a couple guys together in any town and say, do a promo here. Talk to a bar, tell them I'll only work for the door, and you guys promote it for me, and we'll do the after party at one of your guys' places. That's how I want to do it. And
what a great life, man. I get what you're saying. You wish you were younger. Yeah, at least you got it. Some people
but that's
never
why,
get it.
not because I want to live forever. Because I wish I could do that.
It's party.
And I was thinking of doing that as a retirement job as well. But now I want to try and I have a vape store, and I want to try and make it a dispensary.
Oh, the best.
Which would be my dream retirement job.
Of course,
owning
man.
my own dispensary right there at Queen and Bathurst.
Oh,
607 Queen Street West.
Yo, check it out, man. No, give it to the people. I want them to go. Make sure to go to Sam's Vape Shop, man. What's the address?
It's 607 Queen Street West, just east of Bathurst on Queen Street.
What's
and it's
the name?
called CTE Vapes.
And
think of it as Cave Time E-Juice.
Nice, pretty. Wait, man, and you are a supporter of weed. Obviously, if they want to watch the video of this, they can.
Yeah. I can't sell weed, but I do sell weed accessories.
Of course, man.
And I will always smoke a joint with a customer.
Of course.
After a sale.
Man,
COVID be gone.
Man, listen, I was gonna ask you something. Do people always offer you weed because they know that you're a weed head?
As I said to you, so this is a sample. Big Trailer Park Boy fan came into the store. He goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe you own a vape shop."
He didn't know that you owned it. He just walked in.
He just walked in off the street. Most of them don't know. Came back a little while later and brought me 2 grams of a weed called Pink Pussy.
No, yeah.
And this vape
Let's
pen.
try it. Spark that thing.
And this vape pen.
Okay, wait.
And I said, "Who's this for?" He goes, "I can't tell you. It's not a legal dispensary."
I gotta ask you.
So I can't advertise.
This guy came in. He's just walking around the store.
Yeah.
He walks up. He sees you're working behind the counter. You're just chilling out at your store, doing your thing. And this fucking guy starts talking to you. And does he realize that you're Caveman? Does he look at you and be like, "Dude, are you?"
Yeah, it's kind of funny
Because you don't look like Sam
it's the
Lasco
voice.
anymore.
It's
It
the
is the
voice.
voice. Because
It's the
I'm not
voice.
gonna lie, bro. You kind of got like a retired George Carlin look going nowadays. But Sam Lasco's kind of a hard ass on the show, dude.
I may be doing a Facebook survey on whether or not to keep this beard.
Keep it.
Sadly, my kids, all 3 kids, like it, and so does my girlfriend.
You got 3 kids. Did you have 3 kids before you became an actor? So all your kids got to see you get a break in acting. Holy shit.
So,
Is that as satisfying as anything else in the world?
well, it will be. I'm getting married on August 22nd.
Oh, you're the fucking man.
So what I want to do, since all my relatives are coming from out of town and my kids are going to be in town, I'm going to probably rent a local hall and do my performance. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to just rent the hall.
Yeah,
So
of
all
course.
my family can come and watch me. My kids can watch me on stage and see what a degenerate I am.
Yeah, but that's a lot of fun, man. That was your, man.
I want to perform for my family. So
You
far,
haven't
only
had the chance, eh?
Well, my brother came to watch me when I was in Calgary and brought his daughter, but his other daughter didn't get a chance. His wife never
Oh,
came.
man. Your brother lives in Calgary and he came out to watch your show.
When I was in Calgary, yeah.
And he got to see all the fans and everybody because those people are coming out for you. They're Trailer Park Boy fans. They want to come watch the characters live.
Never as many as you want.
Never.
But I don't care if there's 7 people in the audience. I always do my best show.
Buddy, that's all. That is one of the secrets of live entertainment is that truly the show goes on no matter what, man. Here, let me give this back to you.
It's just way more fun if there's more people there. I mean, I sell a 30 to 40 minute show,
Yeah.
but I've been on for an hour and a half with a big crowd
Of
before.
course, man. Having a time. They don't care. They don't. They
I
get
just
their
made
money's
shit
worth.
up as I was going along.
Man, you know, starting off in comedy is the 7 show thing is all you get. It's all you get when you start off in comedy. You don't even get anything more. You don't, but the dream is the more. So like, yeah, that's why you deliver when you get those big audiences, is because you get to do the 7 people audiences. If you only got big audiences, you wouldn't know how to perform to the 7 people. But because you get to perform to 7, 14, 20, 30.
The last show I did was so much fun.
What city was
I
it
missed
in?
it. It was in Cambridge
Oh, great place to perform.
at the Rhythm and Brews.
Yeah.
Have you been there? He does
No,
comedy
no.
there all the time.
It's downtown, I haven't been.
Super guy, super nice facility, holds about 100 people.
Yeah, yeah,
And he
yeah.
does comedy there on the
And
weekends.
he has a kitchen?
No. But there's a Portuguese kitchen right next door.
Yeah. I know this spot, man. Somebody told me about this spot. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I know. Man, okay. What's your favorite show ever? Favorite town that you performed in your favorite show? Something that sticks out. It's usually a shitty small town, too.
No, it was in Jasper.
Wow. See, that's a beautiful place.
We weren't supposed to even perform. We had a down day,
Yeah.
and we performed for hotel rooms
No way.
in the hotel. And we got fucking suites.
Come on.
Like I'm talking jacuzzi in our own place, 2 bedrooms,
Kitchen, living room.
gigantic.
Those are
Gigantic. And it was all ad hoc. They had
Cool.
no stage.
No way.
I performed on the floor in front of everybody. But I do that a lot.
In character, full character.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for the whole show. I did what's it called? I did a festival down in just outside of Philadelphia last year. I can't think of it because I'm really stoned. He has really good weed. So I'll think of it later.
That weed's
probably.
fucked, man. I know.
So I was
Keith
on this
Canna.
big stage that was 6 feet above everybody. And it was all muddy down in the field where they were.
What?
And I wound up jumping off the stage.
Come on.
And doing the show in the mud with everybody else.
See, but that's the kind of shit people will never forget.
But it was fun. But that's because I like to interact with my crowd. My show is totally interactive. You don't have to be part of the
You
show.
should be that.
You don't have to be part of the show, but there's a lot of audience
They'll remember that for the
participation.
rest of their lives. Hey, man, yeah, you like Trailer Park Boys, buddy? We went to go watch Sam Lasco one time. Guy came down. There was people eating hot dogs. Some guy puked. One guy shit his pants. Dude, that kind of shit makes me so fucking happy. Man, what are we smoking, man? What was that? Is that the pink pussy?
I don't know what it's called. It's good, though. It's got a nice flavor. You want some more?
No, man. We'll want more weed. Or maybe not. I don't even know, man.
So, yeah, the more I smoke, the more I talk. So you have to tell me how long you want me to be here.
We keep talking. That's
I got no limit. Cool. I got no place to go. Tasha, you all right?
She's gone.
Oh, she's on the balcony.
That's so funny. She's just gone, dude. She left, man.
Yeah. I thought you'd try and listen, but so where do I get to watch this? By the way,
We're gonna release it soon. Everybody listening, make sure to check out this episode and every other episode that we record with all of our guests, man. Sam, you're baked, man. This is the best. I hope everybody watching right now. See, this is the kind of shit that people love, man. I'm baked right now with Caveman Sam.
this is my natural state, though, for the most part.
This is him after work from his vape shop that he owns in downtown Toronto. We got all high. People would. Does Ricky get high outside of like work? Outside as a character, does he get high as a normal person?
Everybody smokes.
Everybody smokes.
No.
Does Bubble smoke?
Everybody smokes.
Yeah, man.
I know they cut out cigarettes.
Do you have a favorite person outside of Ricky on the show that you loved?
Outside of Ricky?
Yeah. Like I'm sure because Ricky gave you your start, but I'm sure there's somebody else on the show
That's
that you
not
worked
why
with.
he's my favorite.
No,
No.
I don't even know.
That's not why he's my favorite.
Who's your favorite?
Him.
Him, but he's your favorite for what reason?
He'll always return my call within a reasonable amount of time if I call.
Yeah.
If I contact him, he has the respect to even just text me right back and say, I'm busy right now.
I'm busy. I'll call you in a little bit.
But he always calls me back. You got to respect that.
What's Ricky like in real life?
He's super soft, super nice,
Yeah,
super sweet.
Robb Wells.
He's a super, super, super nice guy.
You met him as Robb Wells.
Yep. And he was a really nice guy then, too.
Was he really? I was about to ask you, what the fuck was he like when he was what did he do with sparkling water?
He drove the truck to the food cities.
What did he look like? He didn't have the look. He didn't have the Ricky look. He must have looked like more of a normal
He had
person.
the high hair because...
Did he have the high hair?
He was filming Trailer Park Boys because that's when it started.
Shut up,
Right?
man. No way.
It was just before it started.
This guy was so people in the Halifax area early on in their career got water delivered to them by Ricky for real in real life. There are people out there when they watch Trailer Park Boys with their family, like, buddy, I used to get water from Ricky. You don't even know this guy used to come drop off the water for us over here.
And he used to knock on doors on weekends because we would do neighborhood rushes to try and get people to rent water coolers.
Of course.
And then we would make... we made like $25-$30 for every cooler we set up.
He should have done that
for a year
after he became
subscription.
famous.
But
People
we
would have
did all
signed
that.
up for water all day.
We did that for the company. It was always a worthy
Who
venture.
else do you like on the show? Obviously, Ricky. Is there anybody else you can think of during your time that you enjoyed? And anybody that you
They're all
didn't
very
enjoy?
nice. No one. There's no one's company I don't enjoy from the show.
Jonathan Torrens, cool.
I wish I knew him better.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I think he's absolutely hilarious.
I know, right?
I think Jamie Kennedy stole Malibu's Most Wanted off of J-Rock.
Wow.
That's what I
think. Wait.
That's what I
I
think.
want that controversial take because Trailer Park Boys came out years before Malibu's Most Wanted. And J-Rock was already the funniest white dude.
Guy. He was the guy. He's Malibu's Most Wanted.
There's memes. Anytime you see a white guy meme and it's like a funny like wankster guy, it's Jonathan. That guy's a legend, man.
Here's Jonathan Torrens.
Yeah.
Real life. We're at the Gemini Awards.
Oh, cool.
We're walking down the walkway on the carpet.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people around, and he looks at me and he goes, "It's not real." And I look at him, and then he does a pratfall. He pretends to fall and throw his drink in the air.
No way.
And tumble.
Dude, how fucking funny, man.
Just because he felt like it. Just because he felt like
And he has so much confidence. He's like, they'll love it. The people are
it.
going to
Just because he felt like it. Just because he felt like it.
Jonathan Torrens, man.
He's a genius. Jonathan Torrens should run for government because he's also very, very smart. And he's well-liked. And he's such a roundabout, normal, middle-of-the-road guy.
Is that what he's like in real life?
Open-minded, open-hearted.
That guy's been in Canadian entertainment since he was like a kid.
Let me tell you a Jonathan Torrens story. So, Italian guy. I was working at Minax Worldwide as a team leader.
What is Minex?
It's a call center. Selling credit cards. Anyway, I'm working there as a team leader, and I get one of my guys, my in charge, my second in command, a job as a driver for Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, what? That's hilarious, man.
Right? For the set.
That's
it was
nice.
the first year of it.
Still a great job.
Yeah,
For anybody
really
who's got
nice.
a normal job, working
Great
on
job.
set.
Great job.
The best.
Picking people up, dropping people off.
Great job.
So he's, I didn't know this. I found out later. So he's driving Jonathan Torrens to his hotel room.
Yeah.
And I guess the checks were delayed. It was our first year. And the checks were delayed. And he was saying, oh, fuck, I got all these bills. Jonathan Torrens threw him $200. And he said, no, just keep it.
Just keep it, no worries.
Just keep it.
Jonathan Torres is an OG like that.
He's the guy who started the whole, let's use our air miles
Yeah.
for bringing the people, for the, what did he donate that to? Fuck.
Donate the air miles to what?
He was donating, oh man.
To bring people in somewhere?
No, yeah, the people that couldn't work. No, wait a second. What was it? Just look, he does a lot of philanthropical shit like that.
That's really nice.
I can't think of it right now. Again, I'm very high.
Well, yeah, we've smoked two cannons, I know.
Between my oils, my weed, and my vaporizer here. The only thing I didn't touch on was the shatter.
The shatter. We don't even need it. We're already wrecked.
I don't need it.
No, we'll wrap this.
I can't think of it.
We'll wrap it up soon. Don't even worry.
He's a real nice guy, and he's really, really smart. Corey Bowles.
Corey used to come by my Stoner Sunday show. I used to host it, and he was trying to do stand-up for a little bit. And somebody had introduced us, and he used to come by the show all the fucking time. He was really nice, too.
Very, very nice guy. Very, very huge heart.
Smart guy.
He used to work he's a professor at McGill. He taught dance.
Is that what he is?
He did that
he's so
for a while.
Smart. When you'd meet him, you're like, man,
he's
where do you get this fucking...
He's an actor. He's a writer. He's everything, man. Corey Bowles is the shit.
A lot of real names on the show. What else? What else? Who? Anybody else? Did you ever get to work much with Lahey and?
Lahey was a gem.
Yeah.
Here's Lahey. I'm bouncing in front of a bar. Lahey drives up. He sees me standing there because I was always at the front door.
This is in Halifax?
It's a slow night. He opens up his trunk, grabs a Scrabble board, comes over, sets it up in front of the table so I can still check IDs and play Scrabble with him. And we sit there and play Scrabble for an hour.
That's a great Lahey story. What kind of fucking Lahey story is that, you fucker? Holy
True story.
Shit.
Whenever we were on set together, we always played chess or Scrabble.
That's the kind of guy he was.
When I beat him for the first game, chess, the first time we played chess, I beat him. And he goes, to be honest, Sam, I didn't think you'd know how to play. And I go, I said, he's big, so he must be stupid my whole life. Don't worry about it.
That's so funny, man.
Don't worry about it, I said.
Sam, man, that's so fucking funny.
Because people think because you're a jock or because you're a big guy and because you can handle yourself and you can take care of your own shit that you're also stupid.
I cannot believe
because we
that.
don't get hit in the head that often.
Dude, so many great stories. Okay, wait, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm just going to give it... This is all just for the audience because I can ask you this personally whenever, but I know the audience would love to know. Okay, there's a good Lahey story, a good Jonathan Torres story, you got a good Ricky story. You got two good Ricky stories in there. Man, Randy worked with you. That's funny. That's fucked. Randy worked... Randy was a normal Randy at work, too? He was just kind of that dude?
No, he was a straight-laced dude, man.
Straight-laced dude.
But we'd be smoking joints after work.
Shut the fuck up. That's what I was going to try to poke around to. When he was like,
none of us got high when we were working.
You can just... After work, bro, that's it.
I smoke a joint on the way to work and a smoke on my way home from work.
And nobody knew. You're just living your life as a young professional.
Well, the joint on my way to work always kept me nice and calm in the morning, not to panic once I realized what all the emergencies were. Wow, and I could prioritize all my work, and it just kept me nice and calm. The joint at the end of the day was, whew, another one done.
You're the man, dude.
But I've never had a job very long that I didn't love. And as soon as I stopped loving it, then I just went and found something else. But I always found the next job before I finished this job.
I never got the chance to do that in life. I'm not even going to lie. I'm one of those comics. I got very lucky at high school. I already knew that I wanted to be a comedian. And I swear to God, I just messaged a comedian by the name of John Steinberg. Do you know who John Steinberg is? He's a comic in Toronto. I found him on YouTube. And I just asked him, hey, how do you do comedy? And he was like, go to these open mics and you'll get started. And that's it, bro. I never let go. I want you to know, Sam, today learning that you didn't get to act till 44 just changed my whole perspective on when it's okay to make it.
Do you know when I started doing stand-up? I can tell you. Matt Almeida, you know Matt?
I love Matt Almeida.
Matt Almeida calls me out of the blue.
That's funny. He's a good booker. He wants to do stuff.
He says, is this Sam Tarasco? And I go, yeah. He goes, do you play Sam Lasco on Trailer Park Boys?
Yeah.
And I go, yeah. And he goes, do you do stand-up? And I go, sure.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Then he says, what's the deal? So I go, it's going to cost this much money.
Sure.
Plus flight, hotel,
and
a small rider. Where's the show? Toronto. I go, you just say flight and hotel. I go, I live in Toronto. So
good.
So it's going to cost you this much money. And this is my rider. And I don't drink, so my rider is water, but I use alcohol in my show. So that's part of the rider.
Give me give me a bottle of whiskey, whatever the fuck, sure.
So he goes, okay, how long do you perform? I'd never done a show. And I go, 45 minutes.
Wow.
He goes, oh, sounds great. Sounds great. And I waited, and I didn't do a fucking thing. Didn't do a fucking thing. I kept going, okay, I can do this. I can do this. Oh, sorry. There's a pre-up to this. Here's the pre-up to
That's
this.
wild.
This is when I realized, I knew I could do it, and this is why I knew I could do it. Before that, I was doing my High Fucker show for SwearNet.
Okay.
And I was trying, and nobody was getting paid. Amy, my producer, my director, nobody was getting paid.
Of course.
And I wanted to pay them something. I wanted to give them something for Christmas.
Yeah.
So the Trailer Park Boys were coming to Ontario to do a tour.
Nice.
So there were 6 of them that were within an hour to 3 hours of Toronto.
Those are great.
And I said, hey guys, I want to pay my crew. Can I go to the shows and sell T-shirts?
Yeah.
And they go, well, you can't. And I go, no, I don't want to go inside. I want to be San Losco. I want to sell them in the parking lot in front of the building.
That's so funny.
Not inside. And they go, sure, why not?
Sure, Sam.
So I did.
That's so fucking funny, Sam.
So what I would do is I would go
my
into
God.
the show, and at the intermission, I would go out to the smoking area with everyone having a smoke, and just for the fuck of it, I'd try and entertain everybody for half an hour.
But that's amazing. And it
Just with the people I had, making fun of people, and then coming on to them.
That's really
Always with the guys.
funny.
Always come on to the guys, never come on to the girls. It's real easy.
That's really
The guys
funny.
appreciate it. Always
Yeah.
touch the guys, never touch the girls.
Of course.
Because they don't mind. They enjoy
And the
it.
girls get in on the joke without feeling uncomfortable. Amazing. The little.
I'm not gay, my boyfriend is.
A little. That's really
that
funny.
kind of thing.
That's really funny though.
Right?
People.
So I did. I tried to entertain everybody for half an hour, and I did. I kept everybody's attention, everybody's eyes on me for
Did you ever sell
the
a
entire
t-shirt?
smoke break. I sold lots of T-shirts, enough that I could pay everybody.
What was on the shirt? Sam Losco, Caveman, or something?
It's cave time.
No way, dude.
When I printed it, it's just a picture of me pointing,
Yeah.
saying, and underneath it says, it's cave time. When I gave them the shirts to print, they had all this perfect block print. I go, what the fuck is that? I go, make it look like I made it in my garage.
Yeah, it has to look
So
shit.
then they changed the print so it was thin, but the shirt's beautiful. And people bought them. They loved them.
That's amazing.
And I sold them in character. What the fuck you want to go inside there for? They're going to charge you $50, maybe $60. Get this one here, $20, man. Come on.
Come
It looks so good on you. Right? And then I
That's-
would just start ad-libbing. I'd go,
And these are the people going to the Trailer Park Boys show.
they're
So
going to
they
the Trailer
know who
Park
you
Boys show, so
are.
they know who I am. So there'd be a guy coming with his girlfriend and going, hey, you want to get laid tonight? Wear this when you go to bed. Look at her. She's drooling already. Come on.
Dude,
$20, man. $20. Stuff
Imagine
like
how
that.
exciting that is for them. They're like, oh my God, dude, that's Sam
So
the
everyone
Caveman,
thought it
he's
was
right
part
here.
of the show.
Of course they did. That is part of the show. Just because you're not on the fucking...
It was greasy. It was the greasiest thing I could think to do, and I paid everybody got money that Christmas.
But you are greasy.
And then
That's-
SwearNet started paying us for doing the show. So
SwearNet,
they were awesome.
SwearNet came
was
around,
awesome.
man. I don't even
They
know
were
if they're
awesome.
still around.
They certainly are.
Are they?
And they're still doing stuff.
SwearNet is the side project of the
They
Trailer
never
Park
not
Boys.
paid me because they didn't want to pay me.
It was a
I never
startup.
asked for any. No, I never asked for any pay.
You just didn't.
I
do
did
it.
all the shows for free to show them that I was worthwhile to have as a show.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
So I did it for free.
Listen,
as soon
man.
as I said we'd like to get paid, they were fucking right there, and there was hardly any negotiating. They gave a price. I go, ooh, that's more than fair.
Yeah, you're like, sure.
So we did it. So the relationship with
I want you to
SwearNet
know,
was
man.
wonderful.
Anytime you want to get in entertainment, anybody listening to this, you're probably gonna have to do some free stuff, and it's okay. As a comedian, I do open mics for years for free without ever getting a dollar. Man, one of the people in this room right now is one of the first people to ever pay me for comedy ever. Okay, it's one of the producers of the show, for Christ's sake, and it's crazy, man. The way life works. Sam, we're gonna wrap up, okay?
No worries.
Because you and I are ripped right now. And I want you to know that this conversation can only get... I mean, they're going to keep asking you questions about other fucking weird people that I liked from the show. But I don't even care. Thank
Everyone
you for
on
coming.
the show was
I've met so
wonderful.
many of them
I have
individually, and
nothing
they've all
bad to
been
say
nice.
about anybody.
Man, nobody... It's a Canadian show. Hardly any... Probably the worst person on the show was one of the directors.
No, I had the pleasure of being directed by J-Rock.
Oh, did
I
you
had the
actually?
pleasure of being directed by
Come on.
Mr. Lahey. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing is they gave an opportunity to all these guys to get some directorial
How
work.
fun was that, man?
Because it's
See?
all family. Because they have a
J-Rock.
vision. They know what the show is.
Yeah, of
so
course.
J-Rock directed. He directed me in when I was the Sam Squanch. And they
Buddy,
found me in the
no
cave.
way.
He was the director for that.
Sam Squanch? Dude, that's like what? Okay, all right, chill. Time, quick, before we get out of here. Wait. Jonathan Torrens, J-Rock. He's your director in that scene. Yeah. He's the one who calls out action. He's the one standing on the other side.
Yep.
Wow, man. What a cool little tidbit. Sammy, man, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for having fun with us. I know that I asked you just only a few days ago, and you said yes, and I can't thank you enough. I hope everybody who's listening to this fucking show got a cool little insight on what, on some of the other side, and the real you. I mean...
Is it the real me, though?
No, it's like this special middle ground.
I'm whatever the situation needs me to be.
And you were perfect today, my man. Thank you, Sammy. You're the
My
best,
pleasure.
man. Sam Lasco, Sam Tarasco, call him whatever you want, guys. That's been the sesh.
Uh-oh, back into the city.
Let me get a photo of you guys.
I'm ripped. I gotta, like...